In last week's episode, we introduced you to our 2017 LDV V80 X-Trady panel van, which we intend to convert into an off-grid camper. Now that conversion is about to begin. Welcome guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to Adventures of Pommy and the start of our van build. So today it is literally the start of our van build. And what we're going to be doing is just prepping the entire cabin area back here. So that means removing all of that timber, all of that racking, all of these side panels, so that we literally get this van back to a blank canvas where we can assess any damage, i.e. any screw holes that have gone through the floor that might need treating for rust. We can then treat them for rust, seal them up and with a pop rivet, and then just generally get it back to a blank canvas where we're ready to sound deaden and insulate. So yeah, some of this timber is 18mm ply, could be good used for later on, so we're going to save all this, but literally we're going to strip it back to complete blank canvas and prep it for yeah, sound deadening and insulating. So it's a beautiful day here in New Zealand, as you can see, so let's get on with it. So first we start by removing this 18mm ply which is on top of this timber framework. It's just screwed in with self-tapping screws and the Milwaukee M12 impact driver works an absolute treat. Then out with the framework itself. So that literally took no time at all. And let me get you down and show you the floor. So I think this covering, I'm not sure if it's original or what, but obviously it's got some damage to it. And then there is a timber subfloor underneath. I rolled this bit back here and it looks like some sort of MDF maybe, whether it's patchwork I'm not sure, but there is a timber sub base. But the good thing about it, those last two side rails that I removed, they were literally only screwed in with one L bracket, 2 screws, and I think they actually went into the subfloor as well. So I'm hoping there's not going to be too many screw holes in the floor because that racking wasn't actually screwed down, it's secured to the subfloor. It just depends whether the subfloor was actually he's actually screwed into the van metal flooring. So what we'll do is, next thing is to do is this lino's no good at all, so what I'll do is I'll cut that out, remove any trims that I need to at any point, i.e. the back and the sides, to get access to it, and then I'll rip this up and then that'll dispose of that because this is no good, and then we'll get the timber up, or assess how the timber's secured and then get that up, and then we should be back to the blank canvas of the van to see if there is any damage to the floor or not. First of all, we start by removing the plastic inset side steps from the van floor at both sliding doors, and then we go around with a socket set removing all the metal anchor points. We then remove the metal protective grille from behind the driver's cab seat and then the rear door sills. So as you've just seen, I've removed all the trims from the side doors, trims at the back doors, and the anchor points, which has left various holes here and there, but the floor is pretty much ready to come out now. So I just went to cut it, but to be honest, it's very flimsy hardboard, and when I've lifted it from the back, it's ready to come out. So what I'm thinking is, if I lift it upwards from the back here, I may just be able to break it in half and get it out in 2 bits, because I'm not actually sure whether it's joined in the middle, whether it's bits and pieces. So yeah, that's what we're going to try and do. So we'll see how that goes. Right, here it goes. I mean, if this is just one solid bit, pretty impressive, unless it's made to measure. It is just MDF wood, so this is going to be no good for a subfloor. It's flexible, as you can see, bending. Yeah, so I'm not going to. I could reuse this, but what I am going to do is not break it. Just remembered, don't break it. Use it as a template. It is just one big bit. So let's slide this slightly out. There we are. one subfloor out of the van, and we'll keep this as a template. Now, looking at the floor initially, it actually looks in pretty decent condition. There's a couple of bits up here which are showing some signs of rust around these side step areas, so they will need to be treated. But we've got the anchor points, which we're not going to reinstate because we're not going to need any anchor points, but it's important to keep everything that you take out of the van. So this bolt is from one of the anchor points, so what we will do is we'll tighten that right down, we'll silicone around it and then tighten that right down so it forms a watertight seal, and then no water, moisture or anything can come back up and penetrate the inside of the van where there will be the membrane on the floor. But the next thing to do is get this all hoovered out, cleaned out, side panels off, and then we're back at a blank canvas then. So that's the entire interior completely stripped. We've got all the panels out. Some of the clips survived, some of the clips didn't. But it's not really a problem because what we are going to use is the side panels that I pulled out. We're going to use them as a template, and then we've got some riv nuts, some fixings that will go in there either to hold them back that way or some heavy duty Velcro. So now the main thing is just to go around and inspect the van, which I've done to make sure this interior is good to go. But there is a couple of main bits which are a bit of an issue. So in this corner here where the door is, you've got corrosion here, and then also you've got corrosion in exactly the same place. So it's obviously a bit of a weak point. So what I've done is open the door, and you can see on this joint here there's corrosion. So what I'm going to have to do is brush that down and then treat it for like a rust inhibitor, and then put some sort of sealant in between there and the door track to seal that up, because obviously that is letting by. To be fair, the interior of this van is in pretty decent condition. Now I've cleaned it all out, or hoovered it out, brushed it out. The only thing I need to do is just give it a quick wipe down, but apart from that it's ready to start sound deadening and stuff like that. So yeah, one thing I do want to address, some of you might have wondered why we didn't go for the high top, why we went for the medium height, and that's basically because there are some height restrictions on different roads and places that we might want to go. So if we had a high top, it may restrict us with where we want to go or where we can go, so we went for a medium height. I can stand up straight, and you know, there is a tiny gap between me and the ceiling, but to be honest, to walk around like that is not really too much of an issue, because the only time I'm going to be walking around maybe or standing is when I'm cooking, which is probably here. So yeah, that's why we went for a medium height. Plus at a high top you get affected by the wind a lot more. It's very windy in New Zealand, so yeah, you feel the wind when you're on the highway or you know, or up high, which there's a lot of hills and mountains in New Zealand. So yeah, we thought a medium height would be absolutely ideal. Plus this van as a whole, mileage, condition, etc., we went for it. So so yeah. But next jobs, preventative maintenance before we do anything else. That's that job done. Now we've just got to wait for the sound deadening material to arrive. Things aren't next day delivery in New Zealand, but yeah, so we'll report back once that's arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's another day, and yes, we have our sound deadening. It's finally arrived from Amazon Australia. Now, as I touched on the other day, being from the UK, we're used to Amazon deliveries, ordering them at 10 at night and arriving the following day. Doesn't happen in New Zealand, so yeah, we had to wait a week for this. So it's quite exciting that it's actually arrived, because now we've actually started, you know, we're going to start adding to the van and start building it. So that's exciting times. Now, we was looking at all different types of sound deadening, insulation and all that sort of stuff, and we were looking at Deadening. I know from experience and watching different videos in the UK, that's one product that a lot of people use, and it is available here in New Zealand via Amazon and a couple of other people. However, you pay an absolute fortune to get it here. Like, I was going to pay $197 for sound deadening, and it was going to be double that to come to, you know, to ship it here. What we have got is Amazon Basics sound deadening. Now, this had some really good reviews on their website, so decided to take a bit of a punt and go with it. But it looks, you know, initially it looks really good. So it's got the honeycomb effect. It's obviously self-adhesive on the back, and it's quite weighty. So I'm hoping once it's stuck on these panels, it's actually going to be pretty decent. So what we're going to do today is just clean down the panels quickly and then start sticking this down. So stay with us. Being an ex-tradie van, the floor had years and years of dirt and grime all over it, and these ultra grime wipes are absolutely brilliant. The stain and dirt seemed that they'd been there forever, started to disappear. Honestly, I wasn't sure they were going to work that well, but they turned the place around. However, by the time I was halfway through, my arms felt like they were going to fall off, but I persevered, powered through the wipe fest and finished the job. Now, have a look at this floor. Well, thank God that's over and done with. That was hard work and took ages. My arms are like an orangutan's. Anyway, now it's on to sound deadening. So this goes onto this using this. So what I'll do is I'll show you one sheet and then I'm just going to crack on, because I don't want to be talking to the camera. I just want to get it done, and I'm sure you'll be pretty bored of it. So yeah, let's do this one together, and then we're just going to get it done. So a little disclaimer first, I've never done this before, so I've just read the instructions. Basically, self-adhesive back, peel it off bit by bit, lay it down, roll it flat, and try and get it as tight to these ridges as we can. So yeah, let's get on with it. I think it's as straightforward as that, he says. So, stick it down. This could take a while.
Let's go in, shall we? All in. There we go. It seems to be sticking pretty well, which is good.
Let's have a look. Voila. So what we've got to do is do that all the way up there several times, probably 4 across here, all along the side, all along there. So yeah, this could be quite time consuming, but yeah, see you soon. Oi oi, there we go. We've got the floor done. So yeah, taking longer than you expect this. You think you're just going to stick it down and you know, off you go. But you've got to smooth it out, and because there's a ridge floor, you've got to get it nice and sticky in between and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's gone down pretty well, to be perfectly honest. So I'm pretty happy. But what I wanted to bring you back for is, just before I crack on with the rest, is just to show you if it makes any difference or not. What I've done is I've stuck one panel on this side but nothing on that side, so obviously they're both exactly the same panels, and I'm going to see if it makes any difference, because I was a little bit skeptical. Being Amazon Basics, I guess basics means budget. I wanted to, you know, I was a little bit skeptical as to whether it was going to be any good, but let's find out. This side has got one panel of Amazon Basics sound deadening on it. This has got nothing. So firstly, let's do the one that's got nothing. Now the one with deadening. Well, what do you think? I think that's an absolute winner. I think that's working an absolute treat. So here we are, people, many hours later, and we're pretty much all sound deadened. There's a few bits and pieces that I just want to do which I haven't got round to, just little small nooks and crannies, a couple of bits around the wheel arches and inside the door, sort of apertures and stuff, but we are pretty much there. So this is what it looks like. So we've obviously left this window because at the moment we're not sure whether we're going to put a window in that or not. We've left that door because we are going to put a window in there, and we've left a gap there because that's where we're going to have our max air fan for our ventilation and electric fan to bring fresh air in and take, you know, not fumes, but cooking smells and stuff out. So yeah, all the floors done. Just got to put a couple more down the middle, some on the wheel arches, and then just, you know, in nooks and crannies and stuff like that, and probably just cut loads of strips and put them on here. But as I showed you earlier, it makes a huge difference, and you can tell again by this panel. So this one that's not sound deadened, but this one is completely different. So yeah, the Amazon Basics stuff is definitely working pretty well. So I'm really chuffed with it, to be honest. And it looks a bit trippy, and looks like we're making a little grow van or something, but yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty happy, to be honest. I'm pretty pleased with how it's come out, how it's progressing so far. So what I was going to do while I'm here is just give you an update on costs and stuff for the build so far. Obviously it's not going to include the cost of the van, what we paid for it, but it'll include the cost of the materials and all the tools that I've used in this part of the video. I'll list down in the description. So I've got it on a bit of paper here in my book, so I'm just reading it off of that. But so far we spent, or the materials we used in this video, we spent $431.65 New Zealand dollars, and I think the exchange rate to UK pounds at the moment is about 1.1 to 1.2 dollars to the pound, so the exchange rate is well in our favour. So $431.56 equals £196.34 in total. So yeah, that's what we spent on the sound deadening, the tools, or not the tools, the paint for the primer, the rust treated stuff, all the wipes and stuff that was used to clean the interior. That's what we've used. Basically just under £200, 431 New Zealand dollars. Still get confused. It's hard work. Every time I buy something in New Zealand, I'm like, it's half, 50%, half it, but it's not quite. It's actually a little bit more than that. But anyway, we're going to leave it here for this video. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Next one will probably be out next weekend. I think I'm planning on securing some beams in place for the bed rails and stuff like that, but that is yet to be confirmed. So yeah, but for this video, that's it. So thank you very much for your support. Thanks for staying this long if you're still here watching. And yeah, to the people in New Zealand, carry on enjoying your summer. To the people, friends, family and stuff back in the UK, hope it gets a bit warmer and a bit more nicer soon. So yeah, from both of us, we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.